All right, welcome to the channel, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Jedi. This is put another quarter in. It's been a little bit. We've been pretty busy out in regular life, but we've been streaming a ton of this game, and we've come up with some really nice builds. Now, this is my Lepic build. This is not your standard boss killer build. I wanna show you what I've got going on here, and you can do this with regular Lepic. You don't need ultimate to do it. There's no Transcendent card. We're 2 cards down. And we do not have an energy activator. They have not graced me with one yet. I've only gotten 2 of these on hundreds of runs trying to get them. I don't understand the RNG and how it just refuses to give them to me. But I'm locked behind this wall until I can advance it and get my extra 20 slots. Now, I have not slotted the catalyst underneath my melee, so I haven't gotten that extra 5. So about the only way I can eke out any more points is slotting under here for the extra 5, slotting in here for one of these, and taking a low level card to get my extra points that I'm going to need, my extra spaces I'm going to need to get that 3rd card. But it still won't let me get the last one and the Transcendent in there. So I want to show you what I've got going on. I've got increased HP for some real nice tankiness, nimble fingers for cooldown. I have front lines for the crit hit damage over the rate. Now this pairs with emergency measures really well. Pretty much everybody knows that. These kind of go hand in hand. You put one in and the other, and then you have both. Where am I? Okay, right there. You put both in, and they work out to the same, so you get 92.2 crit hit rate and cooldown from those 2 cards combined. I would rather take the damage than the rate initially. You can swap either of them in; they're the same symbol. See what you like better. Then we come down to skill simplification. We got a skill power modifier of 84%, 84.5, and it does cut down our max MP, which is not a huge issue. There's usually enough blue floating around, and it comes back pretty quickly. I'm rarely ever out unless I unload my 4, like my alt. So we get focus on fire, and the reason I took this over Fire Specialist gives you about 4% more fire skill power, but you lose out on that skill cooldown. So I'll take that little tiny hit on skill power versus getting an extra cooldown. Time distribution, more cooldown. And also we're getting 52.4% more HP. And then we've got skill expansion for make the ring bigger. And then dangerous ambush works so fantastically well with this, because anybody that's not looking at you that gets hit with one of your grenades is going to take big damage. They're going to take almost extra 25%. But when you immobilize them, anytime you use your traction grenade, this whole thing is built around the traction grenade and the grenade itself. So anytime you immobilize them, it's going to do mega damage to them. You're getting almost an extra 50%. So that's the build guide, really. This is not a boss killer build. He works great against bosses. He's super tanky, but he's not going to do the crazy one-shot kills on the bosses. I like my characters to be very well-rounded. I'll usually set up a bossing setup for one of them, but a lot of the time Bunny really is my bosser, because we play as a team, and I will go in and I'll zap the ads and I'll slingshot around their head, just zapping the crap out of them the whole time. So I don't usually boss with too many other people. I am going to build a really nice bossing setup once I get the energy amp, and I can get them up to 85 slots. Once I can get that, and I can get the Transcendent card in there, and I can have all the slots, I will build a real super powerhouse boss killer. But for now, a lot of players aren't getting the energy activators, so I wanted to come up with a build that is absolutely monstrous. And this is freaking devastating. You can solo any of the wave-based ones. I've soloed several of them without any kind of issue. The easiest ones are Sterile Land and White Knight Gulch, where they have the objectives where you have to just go and wipe the enemies out. Those are the ones that you want to do. But let's bust into this, and I will show you the build itself. Special Operations Terminal, the yellow one. Okay, now my favorite to do for these. These are where I really test my builds, because these scale as you get further into the mission. The enemies get harder and harder and harder. Sterile Land being the easier of the two. White Knight Gulch, they really ramp it up. You're getting towards the end of the game, so that one's a little bit harder. We're going to go right over to Sterile Land. We'll start this up. Now these are great. You get amorphous materials because you get a chance for an energy activator, stabilizer, and you get a catalyst right there on this one, and ultimate Valby chance. Final masterpiece is just garbage, but you've got Enzo pieces, divine punishment. So these are both all right. You know, if you're looking for regular Lepic, he's right there. But the enduring legacy, there's the Greg's blueprint if you need it, Glade pieces, but mostly what I'm concerned with is that energy activator. So we're going to go through. These are great because they're only 10 levels. Go on through. We're going to hit start mission, and we'll just see what kind of randoms we get. That's it. And that there's the build, folks. We got a, decent score, over 100 mil. We had a really good team, though. They were really outputting damage. That was great. Guys, don't be afraid to pick up your teammates. Always be that team player when you're in those matches. But let me show you what I've got going on. I used the Thunder Cage, maxed it out at 4, and anybody who's not maxed out your Thunder Cage, go farm that out. It's one of the best weapons in the game. When you use that traction grenade, you don't even need to throw a grenade a lot of the time. You can just burst damage with the Thunder Cage, and that explosive damage you get really, really wipes the field with people. So in those later rounds, when you get up to those really meaty, super tanky enemies, you can throw the traction grenade, you can throw your regular grenade, and anybody that doesn't get burst down from that, you can just clean them up real quick with the Thunder Cage. I want to show you what I've got going on. I've got 11,000 HP. I'm only still at level 32. I'm bringing them back up from putting a catalyst in. Now, we've got firearms attack. Our skill power's 18,000. We only have 6,200 in defense, 88,1 in max shields. but we have 11,000 HP. And that's what really makes this so tanky. Lepic is naturally pretty tanky compared to some of the other characters, so it really plays well into him. And I'll show you what I've got going on as far as my components and my reactor. On my reactor is nothing special. I've just got the Thunder Cage. This crit hit rate and heal modifiers, it's all right. The crit hit rate's fine because I went with front lines instead of emergency measures, so that kind of balances that loss of crit rate for not having them both currently. And when I max the build, I'll have them both in there. But for now, that works out all right because that increases my crit rate a little more. So it works out all right. And I get the 60% extra firepower, skill power from that. And then for the components, I'm running a 2-piece annihilation just to get the extra skill duration. And I mean, they're okay rolls on it. Now I've got defense and max HP right there. So that's where I'm getting a little of my defense, and I'm getting a bunch of my HP from these. Now my components, HP, max MP, recovery, and MP recovery in combat. Now this would be a god roll if those two were, instead of purple, were gold. That's my perfect roll for that. And then you get down to the memory pack, and again, annihilation, max HP, and I get some shield recovery in combat. Ideally, I'd like MP recovery in combat, but whatever, it's fine. It gives me that little burst of shield back. And then down on the bottom, I have max shield, only because I don't really have a better roll, and I've got enough HP. And now the shields are really kind of useless in this game, but what I use them for is they're a free hit. A lot of the time, the guys that I get hit by are long shotters that are way out from you, the annihilators that have that toxic shot, or the snipers. And this allows you to take 1 or 2 of those shots for free. And then as your shield bursts, it says, oh, your shields are down, and it gives you a cue. So it's more of a cue. Oh, hey, I just took some hits, more than really to protect me. But with that little bit of extra, it gives you, it does give you a few free shots. It does give you a few free shots, but then they got to burn down your HP. And you could see in there how many times I was picking that Viessa up when she'd go down. She was a little low level. She was building up, wasn't worried about her. And every time she'd go down, I could just pick her up and take all those shots and just eat those shots. And it'll work against bosses too. If you want to go out and boss like that, you can be the tank and pick your team up. Well, guys, I hope you liked it, enjoyed it. If you did and you found some value in this, guys, like, subscribe. Check us out all the time. We stream on YouTube and Twitch, guaranteed every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But we're streaming all the time with this game. It's a whole lot more fun to stream it than it is to sit down and make the videos for it. But again, guys, I'm Jedi. This is Put Another Quarter In. We will see you next time. Like, subscribe, all that good happy horse shit for social media. And, yeah, see you on the battlefield.